Graceful amber window.
Hi, welcome to Once Upon a Stitch Nook and my desk where the creativity happens. Today I am going to be going over a tutorial for how to make this lotus stitch pattern. It is very beautiful, very elegant. It is used in some of my written patterns if you are coming here from that, but you can use it for your own designs as well. And so what I am going to be using today is the Yarn Bee Yarntopia Cerulean Blue color yarn, and it is a 2-weight yarn if you want to match this, but of course you can adjust that to what you like. And then I'm using a 4mm hook. So let's get into it. Alright, we are going to want to chain a multiple of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going, for this example, I'm going to do that 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 2 more. I'm going to add 2 once you've done your multiples of 8. And so there's my chain. And for this establishing row, we are going to start, you can do either or. You can either work into the chains as usual, but I like to, for a more clean look, work into the back loops along here. So that you have these little bumps along your at the back of your chain. I'm going to be working into those. I'm going to loosen that. So starting from the second from your hook, I'm going to single crochet into each of the back loops or into each chain across. Alright, here you see I've done my single crochets all the way across. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And you're going to single crochet into the first stitch. Then you are going to skip 3 stitches, and into the 4th stitch we're going to do our lotus stitch. So that involves a puff stitch. So yarn over, poke through, and yarn over, pull through. And then you'll do that once more. Yarn over, poke through, yarn over, pull through. You should have 5 loops on your hook. You'll yarn over and pull through 4 of those loops, then yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. You'll chain 2 and then do the puff stitch once more into the same stitch. So like so, chain 2 more, and then 1 more puff stitch into the same stitch. And then that's your lotus stitch. And then now to secure it down, we're going to skip 3 and single crochet into the next stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way across the stitch count you have. You're going to skip 3, make your lotus stitch so with 3 puff stitches and 2 chains in between. So chain 2, a middle puff stitch, chain 2, and a 3rd puff stitch. Then you skip 3 again and single crochet into the next stitch. So I'm going to do that once more on mine. I'm going to make my lotus stitch. Going a little faster since I already showed you. You will skip 3 and you should end up with 4 remaining, and then you'll single crochet into the last stitch, like so. So this is how it's looking. Very pretty. You'll chain 1 and turn your work. You're going to single crochet into that single crochet stitch from the previous row, so your first stitch there, and then working into the chain, you're going to single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And into the second chain, you're going to single crochet 3. 1, 2, 3. And so this evens it out, since we know we skipped 3, worked into 1, and then skipped 3. That's a total of 7. This gives that number back. And so you're essentially, the 3 here are accounting for the puff stitch and chain, and the 4 here account for the 2 puff stitches and the chain. And then you're going to single crochet into a single crochet from the previous row, so that little single crochet down here that is at the bottom of the dip. Then you'll do the same thing. You're going to single crochet 4 times into the first chain, and then 3 times into the second chain. And then single crochet into the single crochet from the previous row, and then keep doing that all the way across. I have one more. And then single crochet into the last stitch, which is a single crochet from the previous row. So you see how that's looking there. Bring it a little closer. All right, and now we do our third row for our repeat section. You're going to chain 1 but keep it loose, and then you're going to do a puff stitch. We're calling this a half fan or a half lotus stitch. So you're essentially doing a puff stitch here. So you'll yarn over, poke through, yarn over, pull through till you have 5 loops. Yarn over, pull through 4, yarn over, pull through 2. So just like before, you'll chain 2 and do 1 more puff stitch into the same stitch, that first stitch. And so you'll notice you have 2 puff stitches and 1 chain in between, opposed to having another chain and a puff stitch. And so you see once it's going to be cinched down, how that will make it a half of a fan. So we have the center puff and then one of the side puffs. You're going to skip 3 and single crochet into the 4th stitch. And you see we're working into the dips, so it's usually easy to find, but you're going to skip 3 again and make a lotus stitch into the 4th stitch, a full lotus or fan stitch. So we've already gone over that. And then you'll skip 3 again, single crochet into the next stitch, and you'll notice this is usually right atop of the previous puff stitch. So we're just kind of mirroring it and filling in those waves or the dips. And then skip 3 and work a lotus stitch or a fan stitch into the 4th stitch, into that little dip there. Skip 3, single crochet, and once you've reached the end like I have, you'll notice you have 4 stitches left, and you're going to do another half lotus or half fan stitch in here. So you'll do a puff stitch into the last stitch, chain 2, and 1 more puff stitch into the last stitch, like so. So you see how that looks, where it's keeping the edges straight with those half fans. And now the last row of the repeat section, row 4, you'll chain 1 and turn, single crochet into the first stitch, which is that puff stitch we just did, and then we'll work into our chain. You're going to chain single crochet 3 into the chain, because remember we're treating this this extra one that works in here would have been the 4th single crochet into the chain if this fan kept going. So this is keeping the number even. Then we'll single crochet into the single crochet from the previous row, so again into that lowest dip point, and then we'll work into the chains. And it's as usual, we'll single crochet 4 into the first one, and then crochet single crochet 3 into the second chain. You'll single crochet 1 into the single crochet from previous row, and then repeat that 4 into the next first chain of the lotus stitch, 3 single crochet into the second stitch, like so. You'll single crochet into that single crochet from your previous row, and then we're up against the half fan or half lotus, so we'll single crochet 3, keep in mind 3 into the chain, and then single crochet once into the last stitch. Now you can do 4 in here, but that will make your edges just a little more wobbly, so this makes it a little more even and tidy. So this is going to be your repeat section. You have your establishing row, which is your single crochet at the bottom, and then you have a lotus row, a single crochet row, another lotus row, and a single crochet row. But the lotus rows alternate between for what's on the edge, and so your single crochet count will just need to match that. And then you're just going to repeat that over and over for the length you want for whatever project you're working on. Alright, I have worked it up one more, just another row, 4 rows of that repeat section, so you can see a little more how it looks when worked up. I think it's a beautiful stitch, and a lot of people have been asking about it, so this is a tutorial where you can either use it for one of my written patterns that calls for it, or again if you want to use it for one of your own creations. If you do use it, or especially if you're using one of my patterns, I would love to see your final result. Do remember to tag me on social media, and thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if any of it wasn't clear and I can go over that.